You're with Q&A with Radz, and we are here at Will by Zach to talk with Jennifer, the beauty and the brains behind it. Hi Jenny, how are you?
Hi Radz, good, how are you?
I'm good. So, tell us, who is Jennifer?
So Jennifer in a nutshell is first of all a mom and also a very hardworking and persevering person.
Thanks. Jenny, how did you discover your passion for fashion designing, and what drove you to it?
So basically, I was an educator by profession running a preschool. And then when I had Zach and we started chatting, and then you've probably seen this video with the turtle with the straw stuck in his nose. So he saw this video and he's obsessed with ocean creatures, not any other creatures, but just specifically ocean creatures. So he just wanted to do something to save them, and we were, you know, like that. Actually, that's what sparked the conversation. And then also, since my husband is in the garment industry, so we thought we'll set up a brand that would bring our business to the forefront.
Nice. So your son, Zach, holds a significant place in your life. Could you describe us the relationship you have with him?
So Zach is basically my partner in crime. He is literally like a teenager packed in 9-year-old body. So yeah, we basically spend so much time together. Yeah, I'm his mom, but also very much of a friend to him. We discuss basically everything, and we have a very open relationship.
Beautiful. So, you know, I also have a 5-year-old, so it's very hard to balance everything. So balancing the demands of a thriving career and being a devoted mother is very impressive. It's a very hard job to do. What strategies have you found effective in maintaining this balance?
I mean, there is no strategy that would work perfectly, Radhika. That's, the honest truth. I mean, I think it's just you strive when you're with your little girl to be the best mom that you could be. And the same, I apply the same. Like when I'm with Zach, I try to be the best that I can be. My best could be different to yours, your best could be different to mine, but does not matter. It's just that the love and the bond that we share is so pure. So we try to give it our best.
Yes.
Then when it comes to career, something that I strongly believe is independent women, independent mother, independent woman. We don't need to lose ourselves for motherhood.
Yes.
That personality, our individualism has to be there right throughout our life, because someday when they do grow up, and they go out and live their life, we don't need to start our life right from the beginning. So
Very
it's
true.
very important that we strike a balance with both roles that we play. But I don't really think that we could walk perfectly in both of those shoes.
True.
So I don't think, to you as a friend, as a very good friend of mine, and to all the moms out there, what I would say is just give it your best. Sometimes we do have a lot on our plate and it's difficult to balance.
Very difficult.
It's difficult, but just give it your best.
Yes.
What matters is your happiness, because if you're happy, you kind of flow it down to the family.
Yeah. So lately, when we're on Facebook, we do have these moms groups and things like that.
Yeah.
And I've lately come across these questions, as you know, they tell all their kids' issues on posts, and they tell some reply as to take the child for counseling and psychiatricians. It's very surprising because the child is almost toddler, somewhere around even 6, 7. So you have been an educator. What can you give the parents as an advice?
So basically, when I used to run my preschool, I did have quite a bit of parents who used to come to me. My first thing is, it's also like young moms, new mom, first baby. So they're all going through that whole roller coaster, balancing life, career, home, family. You know, it's a lot of pressure on us in our culture, I would say. But I think we have the internet, obviously, but we can't look into Google for answers. Also, I think what we lack a lot is making our kids independent, and then the help that we get, like the proper advice that we get from like third parties. And I personally don't like putting issues up on, especially on social media, and opening it to an open forum, because we are opening it to multiple people with multiple backgrounds, not knowing what their background may be. So that's wouldn't be my thing. But I would say if you feel like your kid is having an issue, and if you're alarmed as a mom, speak to your pediatrician, see what they would say, and get the right kind of help. And don't jump into conclusions just because they're kids.
But
they go
still
through, and I don't think they're ever going to grow up from that stage.
So, you did mention about some advice in your previous questions. I'll ask you again. Tell me, what advice could you give me for working moms out there who wants to prioritize their children as well as their career?
Basically, in a nutshell, what I would say is don't give up on your career. You don't need to lose, like I said earlier, you don't really need to lose your career for your kids. You can still pursue your career and be there for your kids. You don't have to give up on your career, because as a woman, financial stability is very important.
Yes, it is. So, we have more questions with Jennifer. That's to know about her and only her, the best part. Stay put. So are you ready for the next
Yes.
questions? You know it's about you, no?
Yes, I can see this coming.
So, you know, Jennifer is this person who's full of energy, you know, and it's running in her veins, the whole body. So when she gets her free time, you never can catch her in Colombo. And either she's gone to climb a rock, or, you know, gone camping and gone missing for many days, and or going canoeing down Mahavali. Am I right?
Part of it.
Okay. Jenny, could you share a memorable adventure that you have done and something you want to repeat again?
So something that, two things specifically was the kayaking on Mahavali. That the first time I did it, that was my first time I literally did kayaking.
Yeah.
And the first time I went in rapids, and I did it with Sam with Eco Grip, and it was a rush of adrenaline, and so I did it twice. But I still want to do it again. And my other experience was the solo camping, which I also did with Off-Trek, which I did it obviously alone in the middle of the jungle, and I was super scared because it was alone, which was again a really good experience because the guys made me feel good and comfortable and safe. So those are things that I want to definitely do again.
Are there any specific travel destinations that you want to travel in the world?
So basically, I would love to do a little more of exploring in Europe. So most likely Greece and Israel and Japan next year, hopefully.
Beautiful. What's next on your bucket list?
Oh, I have a whole heap of bucket lists, but yeah, I want to do so I'm really scared of heights. I'm really, really scared of heights. So I just want to do something that would help me to overcome. So that's something I really want to conquer.
Oh, wow. You know that Lotus Tower is having bungee jumping, no?
I heard about it. That's in my bucket list.
So, I want to get the reaction on Jennifer's face for the next question. Are you a day person or a night person, Jennifer?
You know the answer to that, Radhika. Definitely a night person. I hate waking up early morning, but I do because I have to, because I try to start my day early.
Yeah.
But definitely a night owl.
So as you said, solo traveling. And it's often a journey for self-discovery. How was it for you? I mean, what made special after you came back of the travel?
So basically, I've traveled overseas. I've done a couple of solo travel. Before I had Isaac, after I had Isaac. And I love to, whenever I travel in Europe, I never use the map. I like to get lost in the gravel roads, discover old bookshops, and I love to spend time in really antique bookstores and go down little alleys and looking for hidden coffee shops. So it's been, because for me it's been like a boost of confidence, like I literally have to take care of myself out there.
Yeah.
And it's also sometimes you learn, when you're alone, you learn to value and what you've taken for granted, basically. So yeah, so it's been good.
Good. And so this special person who you went a lot to get to, Isaac, give me a heartwarming memory of him.
Oh my gosh. So it was a long, painful, agonizing journey,
Process.
I would say.
Yes.
Because it took me almost 7 years to get pregnant.
Yeah.
With him. I've done like about 4 IVFs and about 25 to 27 IUIs. This is not some advice I'm giving anybody though.
Yes.
Because when I went to a couple of doctors, they did say you need to stop because you're so young. You could end up getting really sick because you're non-stop going through treatment. But I didn't stop, so I changed the doctor. So this is not some advice I'm giving anybody. So that's why I'm like, because I was really adamant and persevering that I wanted to have him. So yeah, I mean, that was something at that time was my dream. And then I remember when we went and took the pregnancy report, I had lost the bill. This is a funny story, okay? So I had lost the RCD bill. So Thiran goes there and they call me and I had fallen asleep. As usual in the afternoon. I was like napping, properly napping. And so the hospital had called me and I answered the phone. So they have somehow figured out that he is the husband and given him the report. And he didn't open the envelope. He brought it home. So he'd gone to Shirohana's and he bought a pink bouquet and a blue bouquet. He was like,
wow.
So I don't know what the report is. I'm calling him. He's not answering the phone now. So he's coming. I was like at home. I was on the couch. I'd fallen asleep. He's coming with 2 bouquets of flowers. I'm like, okay, why is this man coming with 2 bouquets of flowers? What's going on? What did the doctor say? Like, you know? Now, I didn't know I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So he comes and gives me this and he says, so when I opened it, he's like, I didn't know whether it was a girl or a boy, so I bought pink and blue.
Oh, that's very cute.
So yeah, that was the start.
Yeah. IVFs are very common these days. I also underwent an IVF. I got Sheni after 8 years.
Oh, so yeah.
So, could you describe your designs? I see when I visit your store, you have some unique designs. You have linen batiks and, you know, you were the first person to have those cutout dresses. So when you see a dress outside, someone wearing, I can clearly say, okay, that dress is from Will by Zach. Yeah. How is it that you find that unique sense?
So, like, basically, I also find like I follow international brands and trends and see what we can. But also, it's not just following the brands and getting inspired. It's also like what would work for us.
Yes.
And what would some styles, most of the styles are. Most of the styles are not styles that would look good on me. But for example, like when I see you wearing something, even though it doesn't look good on me, it looks super good, like you look really good in it. Then when I do look at you and I see you somewhere, I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks super good in that.
Yeah.
And that's like a moment of pride and joy, like somebody like looks really good in one of my styles and designs. But it's not just me. I do have a team who backs me up, who would say that some styles are not going to work out, some colors. So we kind of like have like a brainstorming session and then come out with the collection. But yeah, also I didn't want to have just straight silhouettes like, you know, tunics and that kind of thing. I wanted it to be a fashion label, but I didn't want it to be a fast fashion brand. So that's why the cutouts and little details that come into it.
A little sexy.
Definitely.
So, Jenny, you have brought this to a sustainable brand. From your clothes to the tags, tell us about it.
So basically, Radhika, when I started the brand, the whole thing that inspired me, like I mentioned earlier, was the sustainability. So I didn't want it to say it's a sustainable brand and not be sustainable right throughout the product journey. So we've taken necessary steps to see what we can integrate. Obviously, there are still areas for improvement for us, for the brand. But yeah, like we took into consideration the fabric, the yarn, the zippers, the buttons, the labels, then the tags. So those are things that we could have changed, so we changed them. But like I said, area for improvement is still there.
It's still there.
Yeah.
How do you strike a balance between creating designs which align with your personal style and creating to the broader market?
So basically, I literally do some of the styles which I like,
Yeah.
but I like a lot of like short dresses and like halter tops and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So you see the collection has a wide range because it's you bring in your personal style, but also when you're running a business, you have to look at the lucrative side of the whole business model that you're running. So a couple of styles that has worked that I know our customer base is this, styles that I work with that would work with the brand is this. So sometimes there are personal styles because for me to wear and you know, but yeah, most of it is something that works for everyone.
Where do you see your career in the next 5 years?
I definitely want to, so we've expanded into Aussie, but I definitely want to take the brand to a wider audience and position a Sri Lankan brand among international brands. That's actually really that's something that I'm really working hard at.
Yeah, nice. So looking how this far that you have come with your career and everything, what achievement are you most proud of?
Career-wise or personally?
Both.
Personally, one thing I think I will always be proud of is Isaac. Just him, just seeing him and having him in my life. That's my most proudest moment, I would say. Career-wise, it was a huge risk for us to start the brand, set up, because I come from an educated background. My husband is in the industry, but he's from a manufacturing background. So yeah, setting up the brand, it was uncharted waters. It was a huge risk. But looking at the brand today, I'm really happy and blessed to see where we are at the moment.
Beautiful. What advice would you give the younger self, Jennifer?
Oh, so younger Jennifer was very serious. I wish I was a little bit more irresponsible, carefree, and was a little bit, at least not as this much adventurous, but slightly adventurous then, because when you come, there are things that I like kind of missed out doing when I was young, like being carefree, because at a very young age I was a very responsible and a matured person. I think that's why I've kind of let it loose now a bit. But yeah, definitely be a bit more carefree and irresponsible.
Good. So we have 5 more rapid questions, and that's our last session. We'll come back. You're ready for the rapids?
No, I don't think I would ever be.
So it's just going to be short 5 questions, and you can
5 short answers.
5 short answers. Success to you is?
Happiness.
If a genie gives you 3 wishes, what would it be?
Go back to school days, for sure. Relive moments with Isaac all over again. Yeah, and I don't think I would change anything about myself.
So you answered my question that I wanted to ask, whether you wanted to go back time and change anything in your life.
No, so like I said, Radhika, I wish I was a little bit more irresponsible and you know all of that. But yeah, being responsible then and matured helped me also to be where I am today. So, and the mistakes I've made, I wouldn't change a thing.
What are you grateful in your life?
For Isaac and Tiran, my husband. Who puts up
the
a lot
unspoken shadow on the story.
who puts up a lot with me.
Oh my gosh. I know what he has to deal with. Her. Very hard character. Jenny, this is my last question to you. What is your motto in life?
Life is too short, so enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, for coming on board Q&A with Radz.
Thank you, Radhika, for having me. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you, guys. See you again on another episode.